What types of people are the most unsuccessful in the dating world? As a dating coach, I'm going to dish 8 types coming up next. The first type of person that I want to point out to you is the type that blames others. All right. There's all sorts of people in the dating world who are obviously not succeeding and they're failing and they're upset and they're frustrated, but they blame others. It's like they want to blame everyone else for everything that has gone wrong. Why they're not so tall, why they're not so handsome, why they're not so rich, why other people are so fucked up and they're so right. They want to just blame others and blame other things. And the problem is that you can't do shit about anything but yourself, okay? Most of the time, blaming others is just a fruitless effort because there's nothing that can be accomplished. So just blaming others is just an exercise in just negativity. And people don't like negativity. Which brings me up to my second type of person, the person who's just negative. All right. Have you ever noticed that, like people talk about things like, I just didn't get the right vibe from that person? It's because there is a sort of vibration that you can feel from other people. And sometimes people say it, sometimes people just exude it. But negativity is something that repels people. It's not an attraction factor, okay? It repels attraction from occurring. So if you want to make yourself uglier, say things that are negative, feel negative, and other people will see you as less attractive, less desirable, and want nothing to do with you. They won't want to be in a relationship with you. They won't want to date you, and they won't even want to be your friend. Okay, you know who hangs out with negative people? Other negative people, or people without options, or people who are related to these negative people. But people don't want to date negative people. All right, so obviously, negative people should do less well in the dating scene, and they do. All right. Third, the people who are inconsistent, okay? So in the dating world, and even especially online dating, consistency is key. A lot of people want to say like, oh man, like that they're really trying to, like to work on finding a relationship or work the dating scene. But when I kind of pry into their actions, they're awfully inconsistent. They want to say like, "Oh yeah, I've been using online dating, and yeah, how's that been going for you?" I haven't really been that successful with it. Okay, so tell me about using it, and they start telling me about like, well, it's been 6 weeks since I last opened, my online dating profile, and well, how often were you using it when you were? And they're like, I checked it about twice a week. Inconsistent, okay? When you ask people about, oh, like, are you really going out and meeting people? They're like, yeah. When's the last time you did something? Well, I went to a bar with some friends. Oh, that's great. When did you do that? Last month. See the inconsistency. It's not very consistent. Or people want to say things like, oh yeah, I'm going out and I'm going to the gym and I'm talking to people, and yeah, I always see people. If I see somebody I like, I'll introduce myself and I'll talk to them. Oh really? When's the last time you did that? Um, uh, s- um, well, you see what I'm saying? People aren't as consistent as they believe they are in their attraction, dating, and relationship efforts. And consistency is something that you can do. It means taking action repeatedly. And what I can tell you, if you take repeated action, what you do is you learn from your mistakes. You learn from your experiences, good and bad. You will just figure out patterns through this experience of what works, what doesn't work, and it makes you more knowledgeable, more competent, and ultimately more successful, and makes your sort of efforts more rewarding in the future because you've been taking consistent action. Like if you do nothing else, if you take action, you'll learn something. But it does always help to take action that is of the right strategy, that is of good sound advice. But a lot of people are just so inconsistent and they don't realize it and they can't own up to it. But that is one major reason why they're so unhappy or unsatisfied with their dating results. Got to be more consistent. Consistency is like a magic ingredient for success in life and damn near anything. So pay attention. All right. Number 4. The people who are so unsuccessful in the dating world are the people who don't ask for and don't know how to receive help. It's kind of two different things. One is asking for help. Most of us don't want to ask for help, especially when it comes to dating. It's kind of embarrassing, and I get that. That's why you're watching this video probably privately, and maybe not everyone, you wouldn't want everyone to know that you're watching a video about dating advice. I get that. I do. But the people who don't ask for help, don't get help for sure, and they're left to figure it out on their own, which for a lot of people if you are seeking help. You probably need help. But here's the thing. Some people can't ask their friends or family for help. And I get that. And they're not even the best people to ask for help or advice from. But if you can't ask them, you for sure are uncomfortable asking someone else who actually does know what they're talking about, like, say, a dating coach like myself, for assistance. You're not going to make that jump. So people, you have to learn how to ask for help. That's, again, also something that will take you far in life, not just in dating, but in anything. And something that is probably going on not fully understood is how to receive help. There's so many people that they can ask me for help. They can ask me a question, and then I can offer them some advice and counsel. And then if they don't know how to listen to it, or if they don't know how to follow through with it, they don't know how to receive help. What good does it do to ask, say, me for help if I say, well, you might want to consider A, B, C, and D, and you might want to think about, X, Y, Z paths. If you're just going to be like, you hear everything and you're like, I'm still going to do whatever, what I decided. That's good, but I think I'm going to do this. You're not receiving help. You ask for help, but you're not taking it and you're not receiving it. Some people don't know how to receive help. All right. They're like, oh God, I wish God would, help me in my dating life. And you come across a dating video and you're like, fuck, I'm not going to watch that. You come across somebody who will answer your questions and you're like, fuck it, I won't ask a question. That's too much effort. You got to know how to ask for and receive help. There are people who aren't learning anything anymore. All right. Now, you don't need to learn just specifically about dating, but if you're not learning anything, I like to kind of talk to people and say like, okay, well, like you're 35. And you're telling me you have dating struggles. Well, like, what are you doing to, like, become the best version of yourself? My simple question might be like, okay, what's the last book you read? Oh, because most people don't read, okay? If you're asked people, like, so what are you doing to, like, really develop yourself, like, skills or knowledge or competencies? What are you doing to build yourself up? And people will be like, and they're not learning anything. What makes you super attractive in the dating world is someone who is more of their best self, pursuing more of their potential and realizing more of their potential, because that makes them a grander person. Like we can't change certain things about, like, say, your physical features. Some of those are going to stay the same, but we can change who you are on the inside. You can develop greater empathy through learning and understanding. You can develop greater knowledge about dating and understanding men or women, and that can help you in your competency and help you understand, like, oh, this is probably not a good idea to say or do this. And like, the more you learn, the more you can make better decisions. The more success you can have. And if you're not about learning, you're not going to be about success. If you're not about improving and growing, you're not going to be very desirable. So these people are not going to be as desirable on the dating market. So it's not to say that you have to have book knowledge, but you have to have sort of growth, and it doesn't have to be book growth. You can grow from talking to people and gathering perspective. It doesn't have to be that sort of, school sort of knowledge either. All right. Next, the sixth sort of person who isn't doing so well in the dating world is those who are so judgmental. Here's the thing. What I have learned over my years and my experience in this attraction, dating, and relationship scene is that judgment really does not help. It makes people not want to open up to you. It makes people not want to share their thoughts, their secrets, or the things about you that they would like to tell you, because they fear your judgment. People don't open up to those who have judgment. People don't share their desires with people who are judgmental. People don't share their dreams with those who are judgmental. People don't share their sexual fantasies with people who are judgmental. All right? So, are you hearing me? It's not very rewarding to be the judgmental person. And I get it. Sometimes you get stuck in this identity of, I'm judgmental. This is good. This is bad. I approve. I don't approve. But it doesn't pay off. I will tell you, relationship wise, unless someone is related to you, like, they don't want to deal with a judgmental person. Your friends prefer you to be open and less judgmental. And definitely in relationships, it'll pay off with both men and women if you can be like, oh, okay, like, less judgmental of them. You don't want people, because what people will do is they will shut down and not want to open up and talk to. And you'll just think, well, that person doesn't talk very much, or the conversation's stale with this person. It's not necessarily them. It might be you as a person who are judgmental, and people just don't want to have conversations with you because they don't want to talk to you and be judged, or hear you get on your pedestal or your high horse, or just get on your little rants. They don't want to hear that. They enjoy knowing that they can speak freely and that they can have that sort of free conversation with another adult. All right. Next, this is a good one. All right, the men and women who are struggling in the dating and online dating scene are those who see it as the effort is work. All right, one of the things that I want to pass along to everyone, male or female, is that friendships, attraction, dating, relationships, marriage, whatever it would be, these sort of endeavors should not be considered work. Oh, I have to do this. You know what? One of the things that I talk to my clients about that I work with is, hey, enjoy this whole dating process. Doesn't always work out with the happy ending and the relationship and the date or even sex, but you have to enjoy the process. And I try and tell them, like, one of the things that I really enjoy is getting to know new people and learning what makes them tick. And it allows me to kind of grow. Like, I have a little bit better understanding for them, of others, of people like them, and of the world and people in general. And in that sense, I get to know people without viewing it as work. Oh God, I have to ask this person where they're from, what they're into, blah, blah, blah. First of all, you don't have to ask stupid questions. No one's making you. That's you. You can have fun, interesting conversations. But what you want to do is turn dating and attraction into fun, into exploration, not into work. The people who are like, oh God, I guess I have to go out. I guess I have to go on a date. I guess I have to call somebody. I have to text somebody. You should be doing these things and enjoying it. And those people who enjoy it, they have better relationships and better success in the dating world. The people who view, and you can shift how you view things. Your belief of what's an experience has to be can be changed. But those people who view the efforts of dating as work, they don't succeed very much. It's like being negative. Ugh. It's not attractive. And it's just negativity will not be one of those behaviors that is just going to be rewarded in any fashion very highly in the dating scene. Next, this is another big one that I want you all to pay attention to. The men and women who really struggle in the dating scene are the ones who want everything but are not willing to pay the price. What do they want? They want dates, sex, relationships, marriage, a whole family one day, but they're not willing to pay the price. Maybe they don't want to lose weight to improve themselves so that other people might pay attention. Maybe they're not willing to read a fucking book. Maybe they're not willing to ask for and receive help. Maybe they're not willing to alter some of their lifestyle, like making time. People want to say, I don't have time. That's complete bullshit. Like when you really value something, you make the time. A lot of people want all the rewards of attraction and dating and relationships without paying the price. They don't want to have to invest in getting to know someone. They don't want to invest in phone calls and text conversations and dates, but they want the payoff. Look, everything in life has a cost. All right. Maybe that cost is expensive or cheap, and maybe the cost is something that's not good, or maybe it is good. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's a cost you don't mind paying. Who cares? But there's always a cost involved. And the people who are the least successful in the dating world are the people who don't want to pay the price. And that can mean something like they don't want to pay the price of walking over to introduce themselves to someone because that makes them feel uncomfortable. That makes them nervous. That makes them scared. Newsflash, we all are going to feel uncomfortable, scared, and nervous and anxious about certain things because you know what? It always is when we don't know somebody and we don't know the outcome. But that's also the thrill and excitement that we receive when it does turn out. Like we go into this and understand like the nerves kind of help make the reward so damn sweet. Okay. But I encourage you all to learn from this last category of those who don't pay the price, because those are the people that I'm really just like, fucking pay the price. If it means losing weight, if it means going back to school, if it means reading books, if it means walking over and introducing yourself to a stranger, if it means hiring a dating coach, if it means dressing differently, if it means like, hey, maybe you need to change up your look, go get a fresh haircut more often, whatever it is. The changes can be large or small, but some people don't want to make the change, don't want to pay the price, however big or small. but they have this desire for the reward. So they want things, but if they really needed them, if it was really a must, they would follow through on the action that would lead to them accomplishing that goal. They're not. So basically, people have their wants on one side, but outweighing those wants are things like, I'd rather be comfortable though. I'd rather be secure. I'd rather not put myself in a vulnerable situation. They're not going to pay the price. All right. I'd rather not use my time like that. Well, you can rather not do a lot of things, but you won't be getting the reward. That's what people are. It's like they're trying to play by different rules. The system has certain rules of there's a price for this reward, and certain people are trying to just skip to the reward and not pay the price. It doesn't work like that, and that's why they're so unhappy and not having the best results in the dating world. Because they keep on for months, years, decades, doing the same shit of not paying the price that they need to. So nothing changes. And that results in a lot of unhappy men and women. So I encourage all of you to pay the price. So what I've done is I've listed 8 types who are supremely unsuccessful in the attraction, dating, and online dating world. They all have these things in common. These types will never do well. They're not going to do well. They have to change. They have to improve. They have to reduce. Like you can be negative, but you can't be negative as much or all the time and be attractive. You can blame others sometimes, but is that something that you do way too much? Do you need to take some ownership and you change some things? You're not always going to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. But if you are representing these 8 types that I've spoken about way too much, too often, or if this sounds like who you are, you have to make some changes. So I hope you have kind of heard me on these different types and learned some lessons. If there are types that you're thinking of that could be listed as well, throw those down in the comments for me to read, and also other people too who can read your comment and benefit from that perspective. As always, you all take care until the next video. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated the content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you're sick of feeling stuck and you're ready to level up your game and your meh love life, take action now. Click the link below to visit our website and experience our virtual game advisor feature. Choose the path of your game journey from the recommendations and resources ready and waiting for you.